So the title is How to Sell More Now. Okay. So I am sweet and I am kind, but I believe that we have to be honest and we need the steps for success because so many people you're going to tell you, buy my course because I'm going to teach you this. And you know what they're teaching you? Ideas. And they're teaching you all these little things, but they're not telling you how to get from point A to point B and all the little details that are involved. Because a lot of people, number one, who are successful, they don't want you to know all the steps because then you wouldn't need them. Right? Listen, I don't care about all that. All I want to do is help you. Okay. And I'm going to give you the steps. I'm going to give you the strategy. Okay. All right. So listen, this is valuable. Please turn off your distractions. Don't be shopping on Amazon, pinning stuff, putting your grocery list together. If your family is there, just let them know that you just need a little bit of time and that you'll be back, but this is going to impact them. And hey, just a tip, if your family's always bothering you, just take a screenshot of this and then use it. Feel free to use it whenever you need a break from your family. Okay. You just tell them I'm busy right now. Okay. All right. So now listen, guys, I have helped thousands of people learn how to sell and build sustainable businesses. So why do I say it like that? Well, because this is the thing. Sometimes we sell one thing, right? And we celebrate, oh, I sold this, which is great. Of course you should. But did you forget about all the people who said no, who ghosted you, who said not now? What about those people? And sometimes we focus so much on the people who said yes that we forgot about all those people that we could strategically reach back out to and sell more to. Okay. So a sustainable business to me is one where you never lose an opportunity to serve others. Write down the word serve, please. How I do this is through my blessing method, okay? And I'm going to tell you about it. If anyone is on here and you're following my blessing method or you've done any steps, I want you to wave your hand in the air and tell me if you're following it. Now, Millie, could you unmute for 1 sec for me? Because I would love for you to share something. I hate to put you on the spot. I hope it's okay. So last week you did my boot camp, right? And you took this tools that I gave you and you went and implemented it right away at your dentist appointment, right?
Right.
Would you mind sharing to everyone like what your surprise was or what transpired?
Well, I went to the dentist and the girl asked me to remove my mask and I did. And so she said to me, my goodness, your skin is glowing. And I said, well, thank you. And then I was about to say something. I said, no. Erika said, don't say anything. Just listen. And I did. And then she went on to tell me about her skin, the problem she's having, that in some areas she has spots that are very dry and they turn red sometimes. And so, so I asked her, I said, so what type of skincare are you using? Or are you willing to try some skincare that can help you with that? And so she said, sure. And so I have the skincare packet here. And at the time that we were saying that, and she's filling out the little card for me, the dentist comes in, Dr. Lee, and he says, oh, but wait, you can't forget about me. And I said, okay. So I am taking with me next Wednesday to the appointment 2 skincare sets, one for her and one for Dr. Lee.
Wonderful. Yes.
Yes.
And she didn't tell them her brand. She focused on attracting people to her, strategically asking questions, and the S word, serving. So proud of you. And she had just came off of a boot camp with me. Okay. So she went boom and scheduled an appointment. So I'm proud of you. Yay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so here's my family. It's not the best picture, but that's all I had with all of us in them. So my little girl is down there. That's Gigi, and I'm sure at some point she'll be here, but she's constantly moving, doing gymnastics, and she's 8. Then I have Olivia, who's 16, and then my husband, I call him Big Daddy. That is Magnum. And the reason I put this picture here is because I take a lot of time away from my family to serve others. So I give a lot of time to help entrepreneurs and sales professionals because I believe if we are strategic, we can serve many. Now, my goal for me, for myself and my business is to make enough money so that I can serve others. So in my community, if they needed holiday gifts, Christmas gifts, if they needed Thanksgiving dinners, I want churches to be able to call me and say, yo, Erica, we need 250 turkeys. And I'll be like, okay, no problem. I want to be able to serve many. I want to ask you this. What is it that you're working for? Write it down. Are you working just to pay off bills? Because that's no fun. You do need to get out of debt if you are in debt, because I've lived in debt and it's no fun. But what else are you working for? It can't just be bill paying. Is there something that you want to do with your business? Is there someone you want to bless? Is there a trip you want to take? Don't put doing things off, okay? Life is short, guys. All right. So here's me. All right. I know I look so young, but I have over 30 years of business and sales experience. So I've owned a jewelry business. I actually made jewelry. Then at 19, I had a salon. And at 21, I had a restaurant. I've had 17, almost 18 years in direct sales. And I've sold everything from low ticket items to products that have lots of commas in them. Okay. But there was one thing that was consistent in everything that I did. I was very uncomfortable bringing up money. I was afraid, terribly afraid of sounding pushy. Can anyone relate to that? Like, are you uncomfortable? Yeah. Okay. So I developed a system. I think it's pretty genius, if I do say so myself, that people would just answer questions and tell me what they wanted. I never had to feel pushy. This has served me in many industries, guys, from selling cars and trucks to selling the dream of weight loss to direct sales to helping so many people. And it's called the blessing method, not the pushy method. All right. So I'm sure you're like, what the heck is the blessing method? All right. Well, here you go. So first, let me explain how this all came about. So I've grown up poor. My mom was a single mom. She escaped a domestic violence situation. We bounced from house to house. And I didn't realize that I was so different until I was 8. Okay. So my mom, we decided that we were going to move away. And every time it started, I started realizing the other kids dressed differently, right? They had different cars. They weren't living in a basement like we were. So I just felt like I never belonged. Okay. But I was run over by a car when I was 8. And I realized then, or probably around 10, that I must still be here for a reason. When I was 13, I had to start working to help my mom, to put food on the table. And guess what I found? Sales. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have a purpose in life. I can solve problems and I can make people happy. You see, guys, all of these people afraid of selling. They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Did you ever stop to think that you're actually helping people? See, if you reframe it and you think about that you have a mission, and I'm sure your products are fabulous and your services can change lives, but you have to realize that you're here to help others. So I want you to think about high school for a minute. Did anyone ever feel left out? Like, did everyone get invited to a party and you didn't? Or have you had a party in your neighborhood and you weren't invited? When those things happen to you, or maybe I'm the only one, it makes you feel less than. It makes you feel like you're not important. If those don't resonate with you, can you think of a time in your life where you just felt like you were less than? So my blessing method of business is about making everybody feel important. You always want to follow up with people. You always want to check back in. You want to treat them kindly and you want to ask them questions. You don't want to just tell them. You want their buy-in. You want to understand what they want. See, I believe when you get them involved and they understand that you're there to serve them, you're there to bless them, you're going to build a relationship and they're going to give you referrals and you're going to build a relationship with them and they're going to just sing your praises. Okay. And guess what? Then that business is going to run on automation because they've already realized that you're great and that you can serve them. So there's going to be a lot of times when you're not working and you're actually going to be making money. So what I mean by this in business about feeling less than, I tried to buy furniture a few months ago. I spent 5 hours with this man and he has my contact information, everything. So I came home and told my husband what I was going to buy, but it really wasn't going to fit. And we were supposed to go back the next afternoon. And he's like, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea. So I couldn't find the man's business card. I remember his name now. It's Michael. And so I thought, oh, surely Michael is going to text me when I'm not there at 2:00. Okay, it's been like 9 months. Michael has not texted me. So what happens? He didn't like me. He thinks I can't afford it. It triggers these things in me. And let me tell you, I'm not the only one who feels less than. Your clients are going to feel like that too. You see, if they give you the time of day and they want to work with you and you don't follow up, you know what that makes them feel? Just like that. Maybe they think they're unworthy. I was talking with a CEO of a company, I think it was last Friday, and I had sent him some products as a gift. And do you know what he told me? I was the 6th person to send him products, but I was the only one who followed up with him. He asked 5 other people for the link for their website so he could purchase the product, and 0 of them even responded to him. Isn't that weird? But do you know, he's like, it's so odd. It's like, why did they even send me this if they don't want my business? Do you understand like that? So blessing method is making people feel important and letting them know you want their business. Okay. All right. So now you understand why I created it. Now, are you afraid of being pushy? Which one of these 3 things resonates with you? Because I'm going to help you. Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of success? For me, I was afraid of success. What if I get to the top and I can't handle it? Well, now I know. Well, you'll never know if you can handle it unless you try. And isn't it better to say that you tried? So write down, and maybe none of those. Maybe you're like, I'm not afraid of anything. Just let me get started. Which one? Okay, I've helped a lot of people hear some of their faces, and maybe you even know them. And most of the time, what they say is that I give you the steps, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to give you the recipe, the steps. So get ready. We're going to write it down in a minute. Okay, here's Cindy. She might be popping on tonight, so you can ask her any questions that you want. The one thing about her is that she's done many different companies, bought many different courses. But for her, when she followed my program, she had consistent sales, and she's in direct sales, and she had 17 members in less than 2 months. Okay, so the blessing method is a systematic approach. It's a strategy. So a lot of times when you get on a Zoom with people, they're going to say, well, here's an idea. Mark this at half price, or here's an idea. This is a strategy, okay? I don't think we need any more ideas. We need the steps. So strategy, strategic, it saves you time. But you know what it does? It removes the emotion, because I don't know about you guys, but there's plenty of times I don't want to get out of bed. I have MS. I have psoriatic arthritis. My body's attacking itself. You know, who knows? Maybe I lost my mom recently. Who knows? Maybe I don't want to work. See, if I only worked when I wanted to, I don't know, right? What about you guys? You'd be like this on a roller coaster. Maybe that's what you're living like right now. But if you have a strategy, all you have to do is follow step 1, step 2, step 3, and you work. Wouldn't that be easy for you? It's going to increase your sales, client retention, and you'll never be pushy. Okay. Sorry, I have to keep moving this thing because I don't know what I'm doing with these squares, the Brady Bunch squares. Okay, I want you to know something, and I had to add this in here because of what I said about the holiday time. Other businesses are marketing to your ideal client right now, okay? So if you're going to sit on your cute little patootie and wait until November, other people, who's your competition? Write it down. Is it Target? Is it Walmart? Is it other coaches? Is it Nordstrom's? Who is it? People are being bombarded every day. It's up to you to stay front of mind, and you must build your client base in September, October, and November if you want to focus on holiday selling. Listen, maybe you don't have a product or service. I mean, maybe you don't have like a physical product that people would gift, but maybe you have maybe you're a coach, or maybe you have a service. And guess what? Don't you want them to think of you so they're not spending all their money on other people? Don't you want them to have it to spend with you? Do you see that key word right there? It starts with the letter C that you see on here twice. It is the word client. I can't tell you how to get a customer. That's a one-time sale. That's not how I roll. I can teach you how to get a client, though. That's someone who stays with you and purchases multiple times, gives you referrals. So if you want a customer, sorry, I can't help you. Okay, do you guys see this? I don't know if you can you see my, I don't know if can you see it? Do you see a pink arrow or do you see a blue dot? What do you tell somebody tell me? I don't know what you see. Do you see anything? I'm circling
a blue dot.
A blue dot. Okay. Is it circling something?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So do you see this is the handrail for the stairs, okay? The handrail is this big. The stairs are this big. There's a problem. Somebody skipped the steps of the process. They didn't measure twice and cut once, right? They skipped the steps. Don't skip the steps. I'm teaching you a sales recipe. So just like if you bake, if you skip the vanilla, right, and something that required it, it won't taste good. If you skip whatever that, I forget, baking powder or baking soda, whichever one's going to make it rise, it's not going to turn out. So write this down. Don't skip the steps. This is the recipe, guys. And if you want to just take a picture of it, go ahead. If you want to write it down, go ahead. And I'm going to break all these down for you, okay? So the first thing is you must attract people to you. You need to bring them to you. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Many of you are representing a brand, and all you're doing is posting about the brand, the brand, the brand, the brand. Do you know what you're doing? You're repelling people. They don't need to know about the brand, as Millie showed. They need to know what's in it for them, okay? Now you do that through the pre-qualification. Many people want to skip this step because they're desperate. They want to make money. You're shooting yourself in the foot when you skip the pre-qualification. The presentation and the problem solving, this is where I'm noticing that a lot of entrepreneurs and sales professionals don't have this down pat. You see, you want to problem solve with your product or service, but they spend so much time and so many questions they ask are not related to their problem or to the product that they have. So they're just wasting time. All you want to do is focus on what the person wants. That's it. It's very fast. They're also skipping the referral process, or they're asking this. Maybe you've heard someone say this. Well, hey, the best way that I can reach more people and build my business is if you give me your friends' names. Who was that all about? That was all about me, the business person. It wasn't anything for my new client and what's in it for their friends, right? It was kind of rude if you really think about it, right? Retention. Do you want that one-time sale, or are you taking care of these people? And do you have your automation set up so that your business will run when there's a hurricane or a tragedy or a pandemic? We never thought there'd be a pandemic. Where's your automation? I'm going to teach you. Okay, guys, you got your, let's roll. Ha ha. All right. So now I want you to stop wasting time, please. Attract your ideal client. And like I said, it's fast. The longer you take to find out if someone is interested, you're missing out on your ideal client. So listen, let's say you start a business, right? And so now you tell all your friends and all your family that you started this fabulous water business, right? And now you're like, man, they didn't even buy any of my fancy water. Well, maybe they're not water drinkers. They are not obligated to buy from you. But if then you get down, right? Because all your friends and family, they're not supporting you. So you're focused over here, but there's all these thirsty people living in the desert over here. How come you forgot to ask them? Do you see? If you focus on the people who want your product or service, life will be much easier for you. The other thing I want to say, and it's maybe an old-fashioned word, but are you courting people? Like, are you spending all this time in direct message and text and all these, you're saying all these things except for asking them if they're interested in your product or service? See, I've done this. Okay. In my times, I've had times in my business where I kind of lost my self-esteem and I swayed away from my own process. And I was in this boat where I was trying to get up enough courage to ask people if they're interested. Okay. Now, guys, what I'm getting ready to say is like super important. Okay. Listen, pre-qualification. This is what I'm talking about finding out if they're interested. You must do this. You must get their buy-in before showing your products. They need to understand what's in it for them. They're going to more likely to show up and buy from you. So let me give you an example of how you do this fast. Okay. So let's say that you see someone on Facebook and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to sell them my product. And then you're like, okay, so you message them and then you friend them and then you ask them about the weather and you ask them all about these things. Then you're like, can I send you a sample? Then you mail them a sample and then you wait for them to order. And this goes on and on and on. Well, they didn't. So finally, you're like, I'm just going to see what they're doing on Facebook. They purchased the product from somebody else that sells the same thing. Or they joined another business that's similar. And you're like, they were my people. No, they weren't. You never asked them if they were interested. You just said, can I send you a sample? Do you see the difference? If you would have said to them something like this, all right, so let's say I just saw Bonnie on Facebook and I thought she was fabulous and I love something that she said. I use a survey to pre-qualify. So I could go into direct message and I'd say, hey, Bonnie, I loved what you just said about XYZ. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I'm doing market research on, entrepreneurs during the pandemic. Would you be interested in taking my survey? That's how you get to the point. So if she says no, boom, good. She's not my ideal client. If she says yes, great. I send her the link and I find out what she's interested in and then I solve the problem. So if you're asking people questions and they don't want to answer, well, it's either the way you're asking, what you're asking, or they're not your peeps. And don't you want to know before you spend all that time courting them? Okay. Simplify. Okay. Now, they've taken your survey or they've answered your questions, okay? Now, you can talk to them about the problems, okay? Now you know what to present. So now you know if they want gifts or whatever it is, you tailor it to them. But if all you're doing is showing up online, talking about, I just happen to have this, your fancy water, like maybe this makes you taller. Okay. So maybe you're just talking about this the tall water. Okay. The tall water. Well, what if half of your people are 6'9"? They don't want your tall water. They want your shrinking water. Okay. But you didn't know that because you didn't ask them. Right. So every day that you show up and you're just like, buy me, you're missing out. Stop doing that. Of course, you can throw some little things in there and I can teach you attraction marketing. But really, if you want to build a business, you need to know what they're interested in. So imagine you come to the car dealership, right? Okay. So that's when I was selling cars. So you come and I greet you. Hello. Nice to meet you, Patricia. Come sit down at my desk. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. Get my paper out and I have my survey. So do you want 4 doors or 2 doors? Do you want a truck? Do you want a convertible? What would you like? And then I grab the keys. I show her maybe 2 options and she buys the car. Or it could go something like this. Hi, Patricia, at the door. Oh, what are you looking for today? Oh, I'm just browsing. Okay, well, let's walk around. Oh, you want keys for this, keys for this, keys for this? Okay, we've now spent 4 hours. You've seen 26 cars. You're exhausted. Your husband's angry. The poodle Teddy's with you and he's got to go home. He's had enough. And now you need to leave because now you think I wasted your time, right? See, I gained control in the first scenario, and I'm going to empower all of you with my magic wand. Boop, boop. You are the professional. You're the professional problem solver. So act like it by asking questions, okay? You'll feel so good because people are going to be so happy that you solved their problem. Now we're going to have the truth talk because we're all besties here, right? Okay, time to get honest. And listen, I can be dishonest to myself, okay? So see, I'm going to Hawaii in November and I'm going to be so skinny. There's a problem. I like my chocolate bar so much. And so I have my food diary and I just happen to forget to write down every time I eat the Hershey bar. See, I can lie to myself, but the scale doesn't lie. The other thing that doesn't lie is your bank account. Okay. So if you're having chit chats, you're having presentations about your business, let's talk about that. So if you talk to 10 people, how many of them purchased from you? And what was your average? So are they low? What if you have clients? Are they not reordering? We need to know the numbers, okay? And maybe that seems boring, but you know what? At some point, it'll be energizing to you. And maybe you just didn't know you should be tracking your numbers. If I asked you right now to tell me how many people you had a presentation with in the past 6 weeks, and what was the average amount they purchased? Could you tell me? Would you know where to find that? Or would you be like searching your bank account, searching here, looking for the Post-it note in the bottom of your purse? What if I said in the past year, how many appointments have you had? And how many people did not purchase? Would you be able to tell me? Or would you say, oh, but Erika, I had 27 appointments in the past year. No, I had 27 new clients in the past year. Would you divert it and only focus on the people who purchased? Because that's what most businesses or what most entrepreneurs I talk to do. And where you're missing the mark is if you don't know what happened to all the other people, how do you learn? How do you grow? Because if you're following my system, the majority of the people should be buying from you. Okay. Now, if you don't know where these people are, if your numbers aren't higher, right? So let's say that you have a package A, package B, package C. Package A is $200, package B is $300, and package C is $400. That means your average sale should not be lower than what? Your lowest package. If it is, there's holes in your sales process. Nobody wants to go over those bumps, right? The other thing is, if you can't tell me where are the people who didn't purchase, there's holes in your process. If you can't tell me about who you're talking to in Messenger or on the text or on the phone in one piece of paper or one simple document, and you're scrolling through your phone, there's holes in your process. You're wasting time. You know, guys, I'm about being very efficient. I don't like time wasting. Okay. Time is short. Our dash here, it's shorter than we think. We want to make the most of every single day. And if you're wasting so much time trying to find stuff, you're missing out on serving. Does anyone have potholes? Okay. I'm going to be like, I don't even know what it's called. You know, the people who fix the potholes. I'm going to have to get a pink one. Okay, we're going to go back to this. Remember your recipe. Attract, pre-qualify, present, problem solve, referral, retention, automation. That's what I mean about the potholes. If you're skipping number 2 and you go from attract to problem solve, well, really, how could you? You can't problem solve. You don't know what they want. And if you go from presenting, right, and you skip number 6, retention, well, then why did you waste your time with that person if you're not interested in them buying again from you? You guys see where I'm coming from? Is this eye-opening? Okay, referrals. I have created the blessing of the gift cards. That is my referral program. I teach you to get 5 high-quality referrals from every single person that you meet. So let's say that you have 10 presentations or chit chats this week. What is 10 times 5? That's how many new extra people you would get. Okay. If you have 20 times 5, would you be excited about that? So the reason for the blessing of the gift cards is because the person thinks about who they're going to give you. And it's about blessing other people. It's not, I need referrals to grow my business. It's, I have a gift for you to gift to someone. And I have a whole guide on exactly what words to say, how to say it. It's proven across many industries. Okay. So when you are serving others, do you know what you're doing? You're building fans because you're focused on serving. Okay. And they're going to be excited to give you referrals. Do you know why? They trust that you're going to take care of that person. They trust you. People buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. Now, they don't need to know you for 27 years. I like the number 27. If anyone plays that lottery number and you win, think of me, okay? But, it doesn't, when I say that they know, they like, and they trust you, like, I could have met you, 30 minutes ago, but I have a good feeling about you. And I feel like, okay, I trust this person. So I just want to make sure we don't get that twisted and we think we have to know them forever. All right, hold on. Okay. Now, what is the percentage of people who buy from you again? Data, not memory. This goes back to how many appointments, sessions, or how many people purchased from you in the last 12 months. If you look back at all those people, can you easily figure out who bought again? Because if you can't with data, there's a hole in your process. See, let me tell you something about our memory. It's pretty funny. Okay, because we will think, oh yeah, they bought again, they bought again, they bought again. And then if you go and you look back, it might have been 3 years, but you didn't realize that. Because maybe you saw them on Facebook, or maybe they asked a question and for somehow we think that they bought again and they didn't. Data, and it needs to be simple. Okay, I do everything simply. Okay. When you perfect your sales presentation and your process, this is going to save you time and make you money. You'll never be pushy if you're problem solving. Now, many people are like, I don't want to hear about making money. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, I don't know why, because the world goes around based on money. And if you don't want extra money, then you need to have a purpose. Who else could use the money? There's so many people hurting that could use food, who could use shelter. Then work to donate it. Okay. But don't skip steps because you don't need money or you don't want it. Utilize the recipe and make more money to bless others. Okay. All right. So now, what's the other step? Automation, right? Automation. So I figured this all out because my mom, she became like ill overnight. It's kind of scary. Like her life changed overnight. And I had a daughter in preschool, a daughter in elementary school. And my husband, he designed simulators to teach the Navy how to drive a submarine. He's a former naval submarine officer. And it's almost like he's still in the Navy. He travels. That's why we're going to Pearl Harbor, because he's going to be working there in Hawaii. So here I have my mom who's living with me, and then I have my family, okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was just when I decided to step up in my business that everything came crashing down. And I said, you know what? I have a choice to make right now. I can say now's not the time for me to step up in my business, or I can figure it out. So I figured it out. I thought life is always going to be hectic. It's always going to be changing. And if I don't figure it out now, what if I wake up one day and my health changes just like my mom's? And then you know what? I'm going to have regrets. And I don't want to have regrets. So I figured out how I can have someone pre-qualify themselves. Now, this is just the way I do it. Of course, you could do it your way. So they take a survey with simple automation. I mean, my husband calls me the bootleg mama, because every time, like, I'll Google stuff and it'll give like 27 steps. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing 27 steps. I'm going to figure this out. So now someone can take my survey, and from that survey, without me doing anything extra, they can receive a voicemail from me. It's pre-recorded. They can receive a text message from me. They can receive an email, and they can even receive something in the old-fashioned mailbox. Is that crazy? But what could that do for your business? If you were sending out surveys to people, right? And they're pre-qualifying themselves, and all you have to do is either send them an email, or send them a video, or have a presentation, or invite them to an event. How much more money could you make, right? How much time? You know how much time it would take if I had to call 600 customers? All those texts, all of that. I would never get it done because by the time I get to the 10th one, somebody fell, got a skin knee, my husband needs me, whatever. I'm not saying he fell and got a skin knee, my child, but I'm just saying, life happens, right? Okay, I have to tell you something, and I'm always honest, and I hope that you appreciate that about me, is that I'm honest and I tell you the steps, okay? Because I know not everyone will. They'll just say, go do this and you'll be a bazillionaire. If you don't follow the steps, this won't work. And if you're not effectively selling, it won't work. So if you go and make a fabulous survey, right? And you have a chit chat with people and you're not selling, it's not because my system didn't work. It's because you might not have the skill set for selling. You might not know the strategic questions to ask to solve your problem, their problem rather. You might not know the benefits of your product. And I didn't realize that until I started teaching other people that they don't know. Why should someone buy? What's in it for them? That's great if there's 30 grams of protein. So for example, what I mean by that is, I'm afraid if I pick this up, I'm gonna drop it. Okay, so let's say I wanted to sell this to somebody. This is how many people would say it. Oh my gosh, Millie, I just love this protein shake. There's 30 grams of protein in it. Oh my gosh, I just love it. I could just throw it in my purse when I'm out with the kids and we're going to the park. I don't have to worry about it. I just love it. I. Well, Millie might not like chocolate. She might not need protein, and she might not be going to the park. You see? So what's in it for Millie? Who knows? Unless I pre-qualified her, I wouldn't know. But many sales professionals talk so much about themselves. I call it the potato method. It's when a potato's going bad, it sprouts eyes. Okay, so if your presentation is like turning into a potato over here, it's not about serving, guys. Okay, it's not about serving. I want you to do some math real quick. Okay. Sorry, I really need a new chair. My chair is falling apart. So how much cash in your pocket? I asked you to write that down. Go back to that number. Now that you've got some strategies in place, would you like to change that number? Do you believe maybe if you hang out with me that things could change for you? I want you to divide that amount that you want, okay? And now let's see how many people, right? So how much cash do you want in your pocket, let's say? Now, let's say that your average sale is that your package is $300, right? So you're going to take 300 and divide it into there. How many people is that? Or if your average package is 100, if your average package is 200, whatever it is, how many people do you need? Does this make sense, or does someone need to unmute and let me clarify? Everyone's business is going to be a little bit different, but let me know, please. Don't hold it in. Do you have a question on what I mean by this? Because I know this is new to many, many people.
I have a question, Erica. Can you hear me?
Yeah, where are you? I can only see like 2 people. Hold on. I don't know how. Okay, well, I know who it is, but go ahead.
Okay. Could you say that one more time? Because I know that I wrote the number down that I want that you said. I got that. What am I doing with these other numbers?
Okay. So you want X amount in your pocket, right?
Right.
Okay. So what is the average, like your average package that you sell to people? Is it 100, 200, 300? Like pick a number.
165.
Okay.
Something.
Okay. So take that and divide it by the number you want cash in your pocket. Cash in your pocket as I talk. And it gives you a number. Do you have the number?
Hold on. I need it.
Do you want me to do it for you?
I need a calculator. 165 divided by 5,000. I got 3.0. I must not have done something right.
30. Okay.
30.
Yeah. So you want $5,000, right?
Right.
And you want each person spends about 169.
We're 165. Or let's put 155. I'm sorry, put 155.
Okay. So that's 32 people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, that is retail amount, what you're selling to people. Okay. This is where the math gets tricky, guys. So you have a profit margin. Now, maybe Bonnie doesn't because she does a lot of affiliate stuff and she gets a flat rate. Just like if you guys are affiliates for me, you know what I mean? You're getting like, you'll get 200 if somebody does this, you'll get, you know, whatever. So that's not going to apply here. This is the number when we're talking about profit. So let's just say that you make 50% on everything that you sell. Okay, so I happen to know for Kimberly that is true, right? So if Kimberly only did had 32 people purchase, she would make half of that. So what we need to do is to times that by 2. So you really need 64 people. Okay, does that make sense? Or no?
Okay, because
Or another way to do it is the amount you want cash in your pocket, multiply that first, right? To get a double the number. Am I losing people? Okay. So wait, okay, who's lost? Because this is very important, because if you don't know how to figure out how many people you need to see, you won't be successful. So who needs to unmute and let me walk you through how you do this. So I can tell you in my salon, okay? So let's say that I wanted to have $5,000 cash in my pocket extra on December 31st. Okay. So I would divide it. I'm sorry. So 5,000. Okay. So let's say the average service was $65. Okay. So divide it by 65. That's 76 people. Okay. Now I had overhead, right? I had tanning beds, I had nail polish. So I really needed to double the amount of people in order to truly have $5,000 in my pocket. Does that make sense? So even though they were paying me $65 each, that wasn't really going to give me, after I paid all my bills, the profit. So I really needed to have 153 people. Does that make sense to everyone or no?
Erika?
Yeah.
This is Patricia.
Hello.
Hi. So I'm just going to use the $5,000, and you said 64 people need to purchase 165 by the end of December, or is that monthly?
No, by the end of December.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless your goal was 5,000 in 1 month. So I was just saying, what is your goal by December 31st? So
Right. That helps me a lot.
Now
Thank
you can then divide that by October, November. You can divide it by 3 and then break down how many people you need per month. Want to do it that way, you could. I just take the big number and I know I need, let's say I need 165 people. I write that on a piece of paper, and every time I see someone, right, and I sell it, I start deducting. That's how I do it. You could break it up by 3. So what do we need? 165 people? Is that what it was?
It was $165, and you said you would need 64 people because you took 32 times 2.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
So so that would mean you would
21
need
people a month.
people every month buying 165. Okay, thank you.
You got it. Is that making sense, guys? Or am I confusing you? Tell me the truth if I am, because I want to be able to present it in a way that's effective.
Okay, Erika. So if I put down, every month I bring in, just round figures, $20 per customer. Okay. So that's $20, $40, $60 by the end of December for each customer.
Right.
So we take my number, $10,000. I'm starting to laugh like you.
Oh gosh.
10,000 divided by 60 means I need 167 people.
Hold on. Yes,
Well, I'm going to need a lot of help, girl.
that's okay. We can do it. Now take that number and divide it by 3. And what do you have? 55.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
So I have to
So
do
you're gonna-
55 a month.
And that we're starting October. So October, November, December, right?
Right. So it's about 2 a day.
There you go. Break it down. You can do it. And it's eye-opening, isn't it? When you really look at the numbers. But nobody get distressed because I'm not just going to leave you hanging. I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it, okay? All right. Now, let me ask you guys while we have this. Now, we all know our numbers, 55, 65, 165, 23, whatever your number is of the amount of people you need. Be honest with yourself, and you're either going to write a yes or your no on your paper, and you don't have to share it with me unless you want to. Are you confident that every person you talk to, you can sell it to? Now, remember, selling is serving. If you need 167 people, are you confident in talking to 167 people? Are you confident in talking to 23 people? Are you, or are you afraid? Are you like, there's no way. I don't know what I'm gonna do with 167 people. I can't possibly sell to them. No way. You see, I know if I needed 167, I know that I could sell to every single one of them. That was my ideal client, right? I know if I pre-qualify them, that I'm going to sell to them because I'm going to solve the problem that they said they had, right? So yes or no on your paper. Are you confident? And it's okay if you're not, because your girl's going to help you. I have 30 years of experience, guys, 30. I did not wake up and just become a sales professional. I've invested in myself and I perfected a process that I'm sharing with you. Okay. So do not get down on yourself right now and say, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Oh, forget it. I'm going to quit tomorrow. I'm going to go work at McDonald's. No, we're going to work through this. Okay. Does anyone want to share yes or no, or shall we keep it to ourselves?
Well, I can share. I'm confident, but I would say I can't sell to that many people until I learn your system.
Oh, I like how you said that.
I'll
Love it.
share too.
I like that
I
answer also. Yes.
Sorry, Patricia, what did you say?
I like that answer also. I wrote down not no, but then I think I have done it in the past,
Mhm.
but then it's like, where do I find 165 people?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would.
Your method. Yes.
Can use my method to do that. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Kimberly.
I agree with the first two. I mean, I know that using your pre-qualification method, I've been using that. And using that, I can always definitely sell the product. I can't get past that. So that's my concern with getting the number of people.
What do you mean you can't get past that?
Not getting referrals. I froze up. I do something happens, and so I know you're. And so but I'm confident to solve the problem of the person I'm in front of.
Okay. What about the retention of them?
I am working on that now.
Okay. All right. Good.
Not
So
great.
So you have a pothole right now then, right? On the referrals. Okay. So think about it this way. The referrals is an important part because like Patricia said, how am I going to get 160 or whatever the number was? I'm sorry, too many numbers right now. Let's say 100 people. Well, if each person gives you 5, that's going to cut down on having to find them, right? And once you learn this method, it can be done in 15 minutes. You can solve a problem, or you could do it in a group. You could do it in a text. You could do it in a video, right? So you might not have to have a whole chit chat with 167 people. But once you get the confidence and you can ask the questions and solve the problem, it'll be faster. Okay. All right. So write down real quick or in the chat. How about we do it in the chat? I usually don't use the chat, but I'm trying to do the chat because, I get distracted. I want you to know, I want to know. So if we think of help, support, advice, guidance, okay, write it down. What is, what is it that you feel you need help with? Okay. Do you need help with learning to sell or problem solve or increase the amount of sales? Or do you need help in finding the right people? Do you need help in asking the right questions? Do you need help in overcoming objections? You know, the way I teach, there should be no objections. And after you do your presentation, it should just be how they're going to pay, or if you're in a team building situation, if they're going to join your team. But there should be no objections if your presentation is done in the blessing method manner. Do you need support? Do you need advice on words to say? Do you need guidance on steps? So what is something that you need? The number one thing that you need. And also, I just want you to know that it's a big step in growing to acknowledge it, because it's very easy to say, oh, I'm all that in a bag of chips, right? I have to make a slide of chips and everything. You know, it depends on your age. You might not even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's important to acknowledge what you need help with, okay? All right. It might just not be guidance. It could be the tools that you need. It could be the skill set. Do you have the tools right now that's going to help you for your business to run like a machine in the background? So if you had to, oh, Kimberly, if you had to deploy, or Bonnie, if a hurricane was coming and you had to leave, or is your business set up so it's going to run, or is your business going to stop? Do you have the tools? No? Do you have the skill set so that when you do a presentation that they're not going to have objections for you? So write that down. Okay. Let me ask you this. How many clients would you have? How many more happy clients would you have if you were confident in that you could increase the amount of sales per person? How would that increase the income for your family, or if you're trying to help your community? Because if the 167, the 24, even 5 seems like a big number, right? Is it too scary of a number? Or are you excited to have that H word, happy, happy clients? For me, that's what I live for, you know? Let me ask you. So we've broken down what you need to do per month, right? Of course, I won't leave you hanging. But what would December 31st look like if you strategically built your clientele in September, October, and November? Do you want it to be different this year? Or do you want to wake up on January 1st with the woulda, shoulda, couldas? That's up to you, right? But listen, guys, I really want you to shorten your learning curve, okay? Master the skill of selling. And I just want to tell you something else, FYI. A clientele, when I bring up clientele, that means that they bought from you, not just liked your post on Facebook, because sometimes people think that if someone likes it, they're their client. No, money had to change hands. All right. So the longer you just try to figure this out, you're missing out on new clients daily. I have a birthday program that I teach how you can get leads anywhere. It doesn't have to be just social media. With birthdays, okay? I have scripts, I have tracking, I have all the proven things that you need with just birthdays. So if we just think of birthdays for a moment, every single person has one, okay? Maybe they don't celebrate, right? But a lot of people do. You could do anniversaries if you wanted. But I don't want you to miss out, because sometimes we spend so much time on our phone scrolling, thinking that we're working, right? Finding out those excuses, but our bank accounts are not growing. You need to get a mentor. And then this would be my face if you chose me. Because you have people waiting for you to show up. You have dreams to live out. And if we've learned anything in the past year, it's now. It's the time. No more putting it off, okay? No more. I have a lot of people I've helped, and one of the main things they say is the blessing method really resonates with me, and then I made it simple. And that's what I strive to, is step by step. I just did a boot camp. Look here, Bonnie, here's what you wrote about me. I love how you help to make things simple. Erika's workbook is amazing. Accompanied and allows for return for review. Awesome stuff. You know, that's what I try to do, is keep it simple, 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 simple. Okay. I have some bonuses that I'm going to share with you. I've given you a lot of information tonight. Okay, let's all bring it together now. I have some bonuses that I like to share for free. They're $697 value, and I'll tell you how you can get those. So my gift card referral program, it's in a guide now. Okay, so I've been working very hard to create everything in guides so you can print them. And I want to show you something. So these are little like page protector thingies you can get on Amazon, or you could use like a simple sheet protector, the crystal clear ones. And so what I would say is print out my guide, slip it in here, get some dry erase markers or washable markers. And as you do the steps, check them off, okay? And the reason is if you skip steps, you're going to get potholes. I'm going to get t-shirts made. But I have to be careful because like it might look like I'm talking about pot, right? So like I gotta make sure. Okay, so my referral program is gonna help you to get 5 leads. And get this about my referral program, okay? The blessing of the gift cards. Those referrals will actually then pre-qualify themselves, okay? So that when you talk to them, you can serve them. Everything I teach is in a big, big cycle. Okay, so think about this. Someone gives you a referral, or somebody buys one thing from you for the holidays. Maybe they buy like a $12 item. I can teach you how to take that person who purchases $12 from you, have them pre-qualify themselves, and turn that into maybe $200 or more, and have that one person now turn into 5 more people. Okay, so everything I teach is in a cycle and it's all broken down. So my gift card referral program is the blessing of the gift cards. My birthday program, how to gain leads using birthdays. Okay, and I know there's a lot of scripts out there, but many of the scripts for some reason sound something like this. Hi, I saw it was your birthday. Happy birthday. I have a gift for you, and you can even invite 5 of your friends. Well, that doesn't sound like a gift. It just sounds like it's something that's in it for the business owner. A true gift, right, is really gifting something to somebody. So my birthday referral program does give a gift, okay? And of course, with that gift, I then can turn it into sales. But it's proven and it works well. And now I also have something. So we talked a lot about automation. I have a self-paced course called the Sales Toolbox, and it's been very popular. I'm reactivating it and putting even more information in there. But right now, there are guides. For example, how to, when someone fills out your survey, automatically go into your email. Let me ask you guys something. If you have a business and you get a new client, do they automatically get a welcome email from you so they know what to expect? No. Okay. So it's important to stay front of mind. Remember that. Okay. So you can't just show up on Facebook because not everyone is there. So for example, that's one of the things that are in there, but everything is broken up with videos and printable guides and everything. And so, like I said, I keep everything simple. I show you the how and the why and all the behind the scenes that most people don't do. So if you like me and you want to increase your business, of course, you can take away everything I've given you tonight for free. But if you're like, oh, I really like you, Erika. So I have my sales school. Okay. So if you go to simplysaleschool.com, you can follow along with me. Now, this is opening up on Monday. There's also a QR code. You can hold your cell phone up against it and it will open up. This is in beta testing. That means I'm testing it out because I would like your referrals. Okay. Not your referrals. I'm sorry. Not your referrals, your testimonial. Of course, give me your referrals, but that's not what I meant. You're probably like, yo, Erika, you just said that's not how we say it. No, I would like your testimonial. Okay. Okay. So this is my sales school. So the reason I came up with sales school is because what I've been doing is teaching people how to make a survey. So surveys to sell and feedback to close, because I have 30 years of business and sales experience. I assumed, right? Can everyone, I'm not muted, right? Okay, I'm good. Okay. I assumed that everybody knew how to tie in the pre-qualification to the presentation, how to overcome objections before they come up. I assumed everyone knew that. So as in the past like 11 months, I've been working with people one-on-one or my group coaching program or different people, I'm finding out I've taught it backwards. Really, what I need to teach you first is how to sell, the process of selling, and then you will understand why you need the pre-qualification, what you need to do with your survey or your questions. Then it will all come together and it'll make much more sense. So what I've done is I put together 8 lessons. You're really going to get me for 16 times though. So I will come in and I will teach a lesson in our private Facebook group. Okay. And then let's say that's on a Monday. Then on Wednesday, I will come in and answer any questions, and then we'll repeat that 8 times. So you're really going to have access to me for 16 times. Okay. So now this is only though for people who want to elevate their business in a non-pushy manner. Okay. You will learn how to create a sales strategy that's unique to your business, okay, that increases your effectiveness in selling and results in a positive outcome. A process, the key questions to ask your clients and your prospects when they are not actively buying from you. So does everyone have like some people that didn't buy, or maybe we forgot about, or never bought again? Would you like to know how to reach back out to them and to now serve them and sell? Okay, I will teach you how to re-engage them, re-engage with past leads, turn them into new opportunities. The strategy for gaining referrals with outside the box ideas, including scripts. This is in addition to my blessing of the gift cards. So I'm going to teach you a lot. Client retention, handling objections, scripts. Everything that you need is going to be included in here. Okay. So when I finish the beta testing, this course is going to sell for over $10,000. Okay. But right now you can get it for $297. Okay, so you can do 4 payments of $297. You're going to get a workbook. Now I have a portal now, and it's called Kajabi. So some of you've experienced it with me. So what's going to happen is you will have lifetime access to all of the videos. So of course we'll have the Facebook community, but you'll have your portal where you can go in, and I'm very good at labeling them. So let's say you just want to learn about scripts. If you just want to learn about this, you will know how to access that video and the printout that goes with it. Each week will have its printout that goes with it, and then it will all come together and you can print it out and put it into a binder. But I wanted to make it very simple, the way I would want to work. I've done many courses before, and it's like, what do you have to do? Watch a million Zooms to figure out your one thing you needed? So I wanted to make it very simple. So you will get your PDF workbook, the community, lifetime access to the replays. The Simply Sales Toolbox is already completed. I would suggest that you start there now and look and see how you make a welcome email. Get some automation going before we start, or at least understand it. Okay, so you'll have access to the sales toolbox today if you want. You'll get your bonus referral guide, blessing of the gift cards. All of that will be available to you. The birthday guide, generating pre-qualified leads to increasing sales. So 4 payments of $297, or we're going to give you almost $200 off for paying in full. So this is simplysaleschool.com is where you would find this information. What I want to say to you though, is if you say to me, Erica, I don't have $297. Well, I'm going to say to you, then there are some potholes in your sales process. Okay. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm not trying to twist anyone's arm. You don't have to take my sales school. You've got a lot of information, but I want you to think about that. If you don't have an extra $297, then do you think it's time that we figured out where those potholes are? Let me help you so that you can achieve your number at the end of December 31st, okay?